Hello friends, this is Dr. Ghanasham Chavan. Welcome back in the session of Social and Preventive Pharmacy. So friends, today we are having another important topic, cancer. First of all, what is cancer? Cancer is nothing but the uncontrolled cell growth, and cancer can be determined by the various tests. And whenever we are having cancer, so our growth is not under our control. It occurs due to the tumor necrotic factor. When that factor is absenting in our body, and also the recessive genes which are controlling our growth, that are lacking or mutation occurs into that genes, due to which we are having cancer. In cancer we will come across with several terms like metastasis. What is metastasis? It is nothing but the condition when that cancerous infection, that cancerous proliferation will transfer from one organ to the another organ, which transfers from one cell to the another cell. And in cancer, the cell undergo the process of proliferation which never stops, and it is nothing but the G0 phase. So when our cell go into the G0 phase, our proliferation or our growth will pause. There is pause button. But in cancerous condition, our cell don't go into G0 phase. It will continuously go into the G1 phase, G2 phase, metastasis, cytoskeleton, and so on. It will continue its cycle again and again, due to which we are having this cancer. Actually, cancer is having tumor. Cancer is characterized by the tumor. Tumor is of two types. One is benign tumor, which is not actual cancer, which is temporary one, and there is malignant tumor, which is nothing but the cancerous tumor, when the accumulation of growth, cell growth occurs, and it is occurs for continue period, for permanently, and which will revert into the cancerous cells. Now, the cancer may be regarded as a group of disease characterized by a abnormal growth, because our cell becomes abnormal. That's why it shows abnormal growth. Also, there is angiogenesis occur. What is angiogenesis? When there is uncontrolled growth of blood vessels occurs. Ability to invade adjacent tissue and even distant organs, because it carries through the lymph, it carries through the blood, it carries through the body fluids. So it go across your various organs, and it can invade any organ, whether it is adjacent to it or it is far away from it. Eventually, death of the affected patient of the tumor has progressed beyond the stage when it can be successfully removed. Cancer can occur at any site or tissue of the body, and maybe the major categories of cancer are carcinomas. So this cancer can be divided into various categories, various types. In that, first is carcinoma. What is carcinoma? These are the cancer which arise from the epithelial cells or cell lines and internal cells of the various organs. For example, mouth, esophagus, intestine, uterus, and from the skin epithelium. Means it actually occurs to our mucosa parts, to your cell line of your mucosa, superficial part of your mucosa, of your smooth cells, smooth tissues. So to this, it can invade. And ulceration, it will start from the ulceration will start. After that, bleeding will start, erosion will continue, and that soul is nothing but the painful part or painful perforation of your area. That soul will continue for prolonged period, for continued period, and due to which it can develop into the cancer. Sarcomas, which arise from the mesodermal cell constituting the various connective tissues, for example, fibrous tissue, fats, and bones. The sarcomas are nothing but the developed from the mesodermal tissues, especially from fibrous tissue, fats and bones. Lymphomas, myelomas and leukomas arising from the cell of bone marrow, especially they are forming from the blood. In blood you will find lymphocytes, and from lymphocytes they will invade to our lymph gland, lymph nodes. And as we know, the lymph node is available at all over the body parts, so they will cover your whole body part. The whole inflammation of our lymph nodes will occur, and there is overproduction of that lymph fluid also occurs. Also myeloma and the leukemia and the blood cells, various blood cells, it may be white blood cells or it may be the another blood cells, their size is going to be, especially here white blood cells is going to be increase in their size, and not in size, in numbers they will increase. They will more than 10,000, it will look 50,000 or 1 lakh or more than that also. They will increase in their numbers. Cancer. The term primary tumor is used to denote cancer in the organ of origin, while secondary tumor denotes cancer that has spread to regional lymph nodes and distant organs. As the disease advances, symptoms and signs of invasion and distant metastasis becomes clinically evident. The magnitude of problem worldwide, if you will see, approximately 10 million new cases of more than 6 million deaths, almost it is 12% of all deaths occur due to the cancers every year. It is estimated that more than 22 million people would be living with cancers worldwide at any given point of time. These figures represent and increase around 19% every year. Worldwide, the term incident, the most common cancer worldwide are aroused. Now here you will see what are the types of cancers and how their percentage of proportion in all cancerous patients. If you see all cancerous patients, the lung cancer is very much common. It's the percentage of cases are 12.3% in all cancers, whereas at second number in number of spreading, so its second number is breast cancer, its percentage is 10.4%, and at third number colon or rectal cancer, it is also most common nowadays in all over the world, it is having 9.4%. Lung cancer is the largest single cancer in the world, and 1.1 million annually the patients are increasing day by day. The top 3 causes of death from the cancer are those of the, now here you will see the cancers are taking our life. So in their mortality rate, which cancer is ahead than the other cancer, that we are going to discuss here. So here lung cancer is at top one position with 17.8% mortality rate. After that, stomach cancer, it is having 10.4% of rate, and at third, liver cancer, it is having 8.8%. Developing countries contribute to more than half of the total cancer cases worldwide. Now if you will see in developing countries, they are having more than 50% cases of cancers, and out of them almost 50 or more than that percent people are losing their life, whereas in developed countries they are come out from that condition, they are getting better chances of survival, they are having, the rate of recovery is higher as compared with the developing countries. By 2020, the new cases are expected to reach at least 15 million a year and death of 10 million. The projection of new cases of cancer per year for 2020 is 6 million and 9.3 million respectively. From developed countries 6 million, and from developing countries is more than 9 million. Now the magnitude of problem. In India, approximately 8 lakh new cases of cancers are expected to occur every year. So large majority of these cases tobacco related, and hence potentially preventable, because in India the chewing tobacco and inhalation of the tobacco atoms are very common. It becomes a symbol of Indian peoples. So they can't survive without chewing tobacco or without taking a cigarette or another things which they can consume that tobacco. It has been estimated that 48% of cancer among men and 20% are in women are due to the tobacco. Cancer incident in India is estimated to be around 70 to 90% per 1 lakh population, with 7 lakh to 9 lakh patients per year. Now, tobacco smoking is main known cause of death worldwide, as increase in risk of lung cancer related to non-smoker is consistently evident at lowest level of daily consumption and is also proportional to the duration of smoking. So, in the tobacco consuming people, the smoking peoples who are smoking cigarettes and other equipments, so they are having higher chances of cancers and as well as death. In general, the relative risk of lung cancer is due to the smoking of the order of 10 as to high as to 20 times. So there are always high chances of developing lung cancer in the smoking people. Major risk factor of cancers: alcohol drinking. There have been suggestions of possible carcinogenic effect of alcohol drinking on other organs such as lung, but the evidence is still inconclusive. As we know, the alcohol is having very drastic effects on our liver as well as on our kidneys. It also affecting on our brain. So that's why if you are consuming alcohol for longer period, so definitely it will produce the cancerous like symptoms due to the chronic use of alcohol. For all cancers caused by drinking alcohol, the risk of cancer increasing with the level of consumption up to an intake of about 80 gram of ethanol per day, equal to 8 small packs of hard drinks as rum or whiskey. If you are taking a pack of 30 ml and if you are taking it 8 packs daily, so definitely it will produce the chronic alcoholism and it can develop into the cancers. And as we know, in rummy and whiskey they are having higher percentage of alcohol, so that's why they can develop cancers. Occupational exposures: 25 chemicals of mixtures or which expose are mostly occupational. They have established in a human carcinogens, the important ones being asbestos. Asbestos is very important, crystalline silica and heavy metals. So when any person is working in the factories of where the asbestos has been used or produced or procured, or crystalline silica and heavy metals, when they are in touch with the heavy metals, so definitely they are having high chances of developing cancers. There is list of 25 chemicals which can produce cancers like symptoms. Aromatic amines have been shown to increase a risk of bladder cancer. Benzene, that of leukemias, means benzene can produce leukemias. These aromatic amines can produce bladder cancer, and that of myelogenous leukemias in particular. Asbestos and other fibers have been associated with the lung cancer and mesothelioma. What is mesothelioma? It is cancer of mesothelium cells. So these mesothelium cells are the lining of mucus, especially in case of smooth muscles. They are having on the gut and the lungs. At the lungs and the gut, at the mucosa, we are having these mesothelium cells, and due to this mesothelemia, the cancer of mesothelium cells occurs. Occupational exposures means when we are living in the setup, when we are working there, when we are having job in that setup, so it will invade that conditions. So nickel refining also carries carcinogenic risk. So when we are working in the sector, when there is nickel is utilized for the purpose of any uh, production or any sort of use has been done. Coal tar also is one of the very toxic substance, so which can produce the carcinogenic effects. Coal gases production and iron foundings are associated with cancers of skin and other sites, including the urinary and respiratory systems. So we must know which type of toxins, which type of chemicals are able to produce which type of cancer. If we know it already, so we can prevent that disease. What is our major aim, major motto here? To do prevention and control of that disease, because cancer is very difficult to treat. Only a thing that we can prevent that disease. So by prevention we can control that disease. Work in iron and steel foundings is small associated with an elevated risk of lung cancer. Nasal adenocarcinomas are caused by exposure in the furniture and cabinet making industry, mainly among people exposed to wood dust. Similarly, among painters, 40% assessed risk of lung cancer has been constantly assumed. People who are working in the paint industries or working in the color industries, where the asbestos has been used, so in that industries there are chances to develop that cancers. Environmental pollutions. In the present context, environmental pollution refers to a specific substance of cancer causing environmental factors, namely contaminants of air, water and soil. As we know, the air pollution definitely develops into the lung cancer. So in the metro cities, lots of pollution is there due to the vehicles which are running on the roads. They are developing lots of pollutions on the road, and due to which if any person is inhaling that inside, so it will develop the cancers like conditions. The carcinogenic pollutants for which most information is available includes asbestos, referring here to non-occupational exposure, toxic agents in urban air, pollutants, chlorination byproducts. So these are the examples which can develop into the cancers. Various studies suggest that environmental pollution accounts of 1 to 4% of total burden of cancer in developed countries as well. As you know, there are lots of people, especially from the Bollywood or from the cricket, and also from the well-known persons who are suffering from cancer. Out of them, some are come out from that condition, and some persons have lost their life. For example, there is the actor Irfan Khan who lost his life at the age of I think 50, and he was suffering from the neuroendocrine cancer, due to which he lost his life. He had taken the treatment at various places at abroad also, but still he did not able to survive. Another case was, there is one politician from BJP who was the chief minister of Goa. His name is Manohar Parrikar. So he was also suffering from the pancreatic cancer, and he also taken lots of treatment. He had taken the radiotherapy, chemotherapy, surgery, but still he was not able to survive, because some cancers are not treatable. They are very difficult to treat, but some cancers are treatable. We can come out from that conditions. For example, there is one cricketer, Yuvraj Singh. He was come out from that cancer. Now he is living his life in a very good manner. Food contaminants. Food may be contaminated by the studies, by the various mucotoxins, the toxins which are produced from the fungus. As you know, muco is the fungus. So in the various food items also, in some fruits, in some food packed foods especially, where the various fungus can be developed. So we have done the scientists have done some studies in that the aflatoxins which can occur in the food contaminants in hot humid part of the world. What is aflatoxins? These aflatoxins are nothing but the toxins which are formed from the molds, and they are able to produce the liver cirrhosis, and it can develop into the cancers. So there are certain toxins which can develop. That's why we should take the foods or food items, some fruits also. They should not have any fungal infections because they may have the toxic substances embedded in them. So the contaminants of hot humid part of the world with diet based upon maize and groundnuts, the aflatoxins are the products of the aspergillus fungi and particularly accumulate during storage of grains. When you are doing the storage of grains, so it may develop the fungal infection during that storage, and it may develop the toxics into toxic substances, which is not good for our health. Together, aflatoxins exposure and HBV infections are the main risk factors accounting for the high incidence of hepatocellular carcinoma in some regions of Africa, Asia, and South America. Radiations. Ionization radiations are one of the intensely studied carcinogens. Exposed to ionizing radiations from natural as well as from industrial, medical, and other sources can cause a variety of neoplasm, including leukemias, breast cancers, and thyroid cancer. As we know, in these pandemic conditions, the physicians, doctors are very frequently they are asking patients to have a CT scan or HRCT or X-rays. So due to this bombardment of the various rays, X-rays, photon rays, or another rays or radioactive substances like radium, uranium, like this, so our body is exposed to those radiations, and due to which we may have the symptoms like cancers, because our normal cell, when it exposed to the radiations, it may the mutation may develop into our cells and it may become abnormal, and due to which the cancerous like conditions will develop. And the condition like breast cancer and thyroid cancer, now it becomes very common if you are more and more exposed to these radiations. So that's why my request to all, or my suggestion to all peoples, that they should not go for frequent radiations. One should try to avoid such radiations. When it is very necessary, in that case only you should go for that radiations. Otherwise, don't go for it. Sunlight is by far of the most significant source of ultraviolet radiation and causes several types of skin cancer, particularly in highly exposed populations with fair skin, for example, Australians. So in Australians, if they are more exposed to the sunlight, so they may develop the cancers as well. Extremely low frequency electromagnetic field generated by electrical power transmission have been associated with the increased risk of childhood leukemias, but the findings are not conclusive. Chronic infections. The infections agents are one of the main causes of cancers, accounting for 18% of cases worldwide, and majority in occurring in developing countries. The most frequently affected organs sites are liver, which may develop due to the hepatitis B, C, or liver flukes. Liver flukes means they are the parasites which are like that blood flukes. They are attached to our liver or they are attached to our intestine. The cervix uteri, human papilloma virus. So this human papilloma virus is responsible for development of uterine cancer, cervical cancer or vaginal cancer in case of females. Stomach, the Helicobacter like bacteria, Helicobacter pylori like bacteria, it is responsible for the stomach cancer. Firstly, it will develop the ulceration. After the ulceration, it will develop into the erosions, bleeding for longer period, persistently it develops. It continues that wound not healing, and due to which finally it will develop into the cancer. And urinary system means especially in kidney, in the urinary bladder, Cystosoma hematobium. So it is one of type of blood flux. It is the parasites. The blood flux. They are the worms. So these parasites are responsible for this urinary system cancerous developments. The mechanism of carcinogenicity by infectious agents may be direct, for example, mediated by the oncogenic proteins produced by agents, for example, human papillomavirus, or indirect through causation of chronic inflammation with tissue necrosis and regenerations. So this human papillomavirus is responsible for inflammation, chronic inflammation, and they are also producing warts. What is warts? Warts are nothing but the extra growth, extra generation of the cutaneous substance, cutaneous cells, keratin producing cells, means the skin part. The overgrowth occurs at our genita, especially at near the vagina or near our gonads like testes. So warts are developed, and they are developed due to this human papillomavirus, and it may develop into the cancers afterwards. Strategies for prevention includes vaccination. If you are having vaccination of hepatitis B virus, definitely we can prevent that human papillomavirus as well. Early detection of cervical cancer and eradication of infectious agents, for example, Helicobacter pylori. Now, diet and nutrition. Based on the available evidence, the major factors in the diet related to the cancers are vegetables and fruits. So in our regular diet, we are not using vegetables and fruits regularly, and that may be also another cause of cancers. So we are using the packed fruits or packed fruit juice. So we are avoiding to use the fresh vegetables and fresh juice. Another cause will be salt and salt preserved foods. So when you are using any preserved food items, so it can develop into the. Another cause would be meat, especially when we are taking the red meat. So that red meat is responsible for development of cancers. Also, when we are taking the raw meat or the roasted meat, or we are taking the fried meat, uncooked meat, so it is also one of the cause of cancer, because when you are taking that raw meat or undercooked meat, so it will produce the infection into your colon. It will not completely digest, and due to which the bacterial growth will be there into your colon, and if you are taking for longer period, it will definitely persist or convert into the cancer. Refined sugars, they are also one of the cause of cancers. Fat intake, if you are taking fat intakes for longer period. Micronutrients, when you are avoiding to take macronutrients. Food additives, if you are taking any food color, any food additives which is not allowed, so it will also develop into cancers. So these are the various 5 items of foods that you should take and you should not take. So in that, the fried potatoes, you should try to avoid fried potatoes, and also duff nuts. So duff nut also may produce cancers. After that, sweet nuts and beverages, they will also develop into the cancer production, because if you will take for longer period, definitely it will convert into the cancer. And bird meat, it may be undercooked and due to which it may be undigestible for us, and due to that undigestible food it will convert into the bacterial infection, and again it will invade your colon and ulceration will develop and it will convert into the cancer. Hot dogs, we should also avoid hot dogs for longer period, and these are the 5 items which we should take or we should include into our diet. For example, noni. So it is nothing but the family from coffee products, and it may be from the family rubiaceae, and the turmeric also nothing but the immunomodulator, and they will also increase our immunity. And green leafy vegetables, tomatoes on and sour soup, so they will try to avoid the cancer like conditions. Now major risk factor for cancers: overweight. Nowadays it becomes fashion to increase your weight and to have obesity and reduce physical activity. So from the childhood the obesity has been developed or developing. Western type of diets, when we are having Western type of diet characterized by the high calorie rich food and animal fat and proteins, when you are taking more and more non-veg, and often combined with the sedentary lifestyle, and hence energy imbalance and obesity increase in the risk of colon. When you are taking a high fat diet, definitely it will give lots of burden on our intestine, small as well as large intestine. Lots of difficulty will be there to digest that, and it will develop into the cancers. So it will give rise to the risk of colon, breast, prostate, endometrial and other cancers. Epidemiological studies have shown with varying degree of consistency that excess body mass is associated with an increased cancer risk. Genetic susceptibility. As we are seeing here you can see, out of 10, one person may be inheritance which may give rise for the production of pancreatic cancer. Means out of 10 means there is chances of 10% chances of inheritance, means the from the genes they are carrying that recessive genes due to which the cancers can be developed. Inherited cancer, the syndromes, for example retinoblastoma, neurofibromatosis, usually involving germline mutation in tumor suppressor or DNA repair genes, may account for up to 4% of all cancers. Inherited mutations of the BRCA, this is the genes, BRCA genes, account for a small proportion of all breast cancers. This for breast cancer, this BRCA genes is responsible. But affected family members have a greater than 70% of lifetime risk of developing breast or ovarian cancers. So if any person is having this type of genes, there is 70% chances of development of this breast or ovarian cancer. Reproductive factors and hormones. The female hormones, metabolism, reproductive factors and menopausal status affect the development of endometrial, ovarian and breast cancers. Use of combined oral contraceptive account for a slight increase in risk of breast cancer, but is protective against ovarian and endometrial cancers. Hormone replacement therapy is associated with the increase in risk of breast and endometrial cancers. Now in certain cases, if we are developing the hormone replacement therapy, so in that case also there will be chances of breast or endometrial cancers. For breast cancers, incidence rates rise more steeply with age before menopause than after. When ovarian synthesis of estrogen production gradually diminishes. Furthermore, breast cancer risk is increased in women who have early menarche or who have late menopause, whereas an early age at first full term. So here you can see the chances of the breast cancers or ovarian cancers is most in case of the person who is having menopause, and also it may occurs in some cases when there is early menarche occurs. Pregnancy and high parity are associated with the reduced risk of cancers of breast, ovary, and endometrium. Pregnancy and high parity are associated with the reduced risk of cancers of breast, ovary, and endometrium. Ovarian cancer risk does not show strong relationship with menstrual history. Epidemiology of common cancers. Lung cancer. Lung cancer is the most common tumor, and there are more than 9 lakh cases, new cases in each year in men as well as, and in female is more than 3 lakh cases in women, is leading cause of death all over the world. In India also it is commonest from the cancer among males. In the men, more than 80% of lung cancer cases are caused by smoking. In women, the attributed risk is less, about 70% in Northern Europe, 45% worldwide. Means in Northern Europe, the total percentage is 45% all over the world. Some occupational exposures and air pollutants, including passive tobacco smoking, make a minor contribute to incident. No population-based screening procedures have been established. No effective treatment is available. Breast cancer. Breast cancer is the most common malignant affecting women, with more than 1 million cases occurring worldwide annually. Affluent societies carry the greatest risk, with incidence rates of more than 80 per 1 lakh population per year. In India, it is the second commonest cancer among females. Throughout, it can be detected early and treated with effective measures like self-clinical breast examination for mammography. In our country, only 50% patients present in the localized stage. In 75%, regional lymph nodes are already involved, while 10% have distinct spread at the time of reporting. The worldwide breast cancer epidemic has many etiological factors, including diet and diet-related lifestyle factors, including obesity, for postmenopausal breast cancers. Obesity is the major cause. After obesity, after the menopause, the obesity is going to be increased because there is decreased level of estrogen, and due to which the obesity is going to be developed. Western type of high calorie diet. Western type of high calorie diet, low intake of dietary fiber, physical inactivity, low intake of fruits and vegetables, alcohol use, and tall stature, hormone related and reproductive factors, early menarche, late or no pregnancy, late menopause, use of oral contraceptives for longer period, and lack of breastfeeding, it is also one of the cause. Exposure to the ionizing radiations at the time of development of breast. Cancers of female reproductive tract. Cervical cancer is the second most common cancer of women worldwide, with more than 4,70,000 new cases per year, about 2,30,000 deaths per year. More than 80% occurs in developing countries. In India, it is the commonest cancer among the females. Cancers of female reproductive tract. Sexually transmitted infection with human papilloma virus is fundamental to development of carcinomas of cervix. The human papilloma virus prevalence increases with the multiple sex partners and poor genital hygiene. So when we are having multiple life partners, so when one person is doing the sexual intercourse with many persons, so and another cause is the genital hygiene when during the periods, during the menstruation, if one will not maintain its personal hygiene, due to which also it will develop that cancers. Early stage at first sexual contact with multi party or other risk factors. Population based screening with pap smear has approved early detection of this human papilloma virus. Oral and other head and neck cancers. The common cancer in the head and neck, namely oral cancers, rank 11th worldwide, while cancers of pharynx is 65,000 cases and larynx 1,60,000. Oral and other head and neck cancers. In India, the oral cancer is commonest cancer among males. In India, oral cancer is mainly due to the smokeless tobacco. When one person is chewing tobacco, which is single most important risk of oral cancers. And nowadays also lots of people are doing chewing of tobacco. Other risk factors include alcohol use, betel nut chewing, and chronic trauma or oral mucosa by sharp teeth or ill-fitted dentures. So when we are not fitting the dentures normally, so it also produce the symptoms like cancers. Oral and other head and neck cancers. Oral cancer is eminently suited to early detection and treatment by regular inspection of oral cavity and leukemia for ulcers. Ulcers of male reproductive tract. Prostate cancers accounts for about 2 lakh deaths annually worldwide, predominantly afflicting older men in developed countries. Risk factors include high calorie intake and low physical activity. It is a worst thing. Black men have highest rate of these prostate cancers. Cases of male reproductive tract in that recorded include incidence of increasing in many countries, partly as a result of screening of elevated serum levels of prostate specific antigen. Testicular cancers mainly affect young men with close to 50,000 new cases each year worldwide. So remaining part of prevention and control we will discuss in next lecture. So thanks a lot for hearing me. Bye.